morning to you great people out there. My name is Miriam Haremu, and I welcome you to your favorite program on Peak TV, Matters Horizon. As we all know, this is a platform where we discuss political issues and, of course, things that bring about development in the society. Well, this week we will be discussing a very hot and interesting topic, not too young to rule. This is a new bill that was passed to law on the 31st of May 2018. Well, with me in the studio this morning are two prominent and important guests with whom we will be discussing the topic together with. But before I introduce them to you, let's go on this short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our breaking news now. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law barely 2 days after he promised to do so. Now, the law reduces the age of qualification for president to run for president from 40 to 30, the age to run for governor from 35 to 30, the age to run for a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from 35 to 30 years of age, the age to run for the House of Representatives membership from 30 years of age to 25 years of age, and State House of Assembly membership from 30 to 25 years of age. Again, President Muhammadu Buhari has indeed signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law barely 2 days after he said he was going to do that.
Welcome back. It's still your favorite program, Matters Horizon. Like I said earlier, our topic today is the new law, Not Too Young to Run. What is this new law about? What does it entail? And what is the relationship between the new law and the Nigerian youth out there? Where we are about to find that out. Professor Olayemi, what can you say about this new law, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The law was, initially it was a bill that was passed between the House of Senate and House of Representatives, and it was passed to the president of this country, President Muhammadu Buhari. And like we all know that before any bill can be passed into law, the president needs to sign. But I feel that the law is just to encourage the youths, the younger ones, to take part in politics. And I feel this is not the right time for the younger ones, the youths, to run a country, Nigeria. Looking at the present situation of things, looking at the financial status of the youths, looking at the present economic situation of Nigeria, I don't think Nigerian youths are ready to take up the mantle of leadership.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. Dr. Adedayo, sir, what can you say about this new law?
Well, you think, presenter, actually, from my own point of view, I think that particular bill that was passed recently into law, the Not Too Young to Run, is just like a form of, it is just to brainwash the youth. Because actually, when you take a look at it, we have read it. We have read a lot of articles from different people, opinions, editorials in different newspapers, most especially the Premium Times, that a youth can only run after the 2019 election. Now, definitely, that means the bill, the law should just state that what, not too old to run. That is just it. That is just the implication. But in my own opinion, I think this is the right time for the youth to take up the mantle. We have different people out there. Showore is there, he's making it out there. Donald Duke, they are all there. Adamu Garuba, they are there. So these people, they want to take up the mantle from these old people. And I think these youth, they can actually take a country, this particular country, out of mess that we are facing now.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. To you, sir, you think this is the right time for the youth to be in politics?
Yes, this is the right time.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor, sir, since to you think that this is not the right time for the youth to lead a country like Nigeria, do you think there are any negative implications if we have a youth leading a country like Nigeria?
Yes, there are many negative implications, because looking at the age range in which the things were before, initially, before you can hold a political post, probably it ranges from the age of 40 upward, but now it has been reduced from 40 to 30. Yeah. And tell me, what does a 30-year-old want to offer a country like Nigeria? Looking at the population, looking at the density of the country, and Nigeria is a country over 170 million, And how does a 30-year-old want to run a country like Nigeria? And a 30-year-old, where does he want to get the experience? It's just like you telling a baby to start running, a newborn baby. It is not done. It should be a process. And that's why I feel Nigeria has not gotten to that stage. And if you are saying a 30-year-old to run, in Nigeria, most 30-year-old are always known as WhatsApp group admin. And that is why I feel this is not the right time. And if you are saying a 30-year-old to run, looking at the presentation of things, where does he want to get the resources? Where does he want to get the money to contest, to do the campaign? A 30-year-old, many 30-year-old Nigerians are just finishing higher institution, probably their masters. And at the end of the day, where does he want to get the money to start running? At the end of the day, it will still be the government of the whole. So I feel this is not the right time for Nigerian youth to run into politics.
Presenter, I think I would like to disagree with that. Because when you take a look at the situation of things in our country, you have to, when you take a look at people like Goodluck Jonathan, in which from my own opinion, I don't classify him as a youth during his time, because he still has the mentality of these old people that we are talking about. You see, actually, when you want to talk about things like this, you have to take a look at what are the current things going on. Then, during his regime, we have Boko Haram in the north. We have them then. But now, these people, they are now shifting our attention. If you analyze it very well, you notice that they are trying to shift our attention from Boko Haram now to Herdsmen. Now, take a look, insecurity. The question is, President Muhammadu Buhari, can he come out today and just state the number of youth that they have employed? Insecurity is a problem. Employment opportunity is a problem. Even take a look at Trump when he banned Nigeria from coming to the United States. These are things that needs to be settled. And I think that it is this, when you talk about experience, I think we have youths that today in Nigeria, the experience that they have is very much better when you compare them with the old people out there.
Sorry, Dr. Sulaiman, let me come in from there. Before you say someone has experience, what posts and what has he attained? What has he achieved? Now, like I said earlier on, it's just like giving birth to a newborn baby. It's a stage, it's a process. When you give birth to a newborn baby, you start crawling, from crawling, you start babbling, from babbling, you start walking, then from there, you start running. And you telling a 30-year-old to contest for the post of presidency or for the post of governorship, it's like a newborn baby that is you just ask to start running. There's no, he's going to miss his step. And the experience, they say experience is the best teacher. And a 30-year-old, what does he want to offer a country like Nigeria? And that is why some like I was speaking to my friend in University of Ibadan. We were in an argument, and he was telling me that youths of nowadays should be given opportunity to run. Like I always say, I always recognize the former president as a youth, because if we are to look at his age limit, he can't be more than 50 years old or 45. And we saw what he did. He has not given a better Nigeria, and people are not convinced that he has done best for this country. And that's an example. If we have seen someone like President Goodluck Jonathan, and he failed. That is what people believe, that he failed Nigeria, because if he didn't fail Nigeria, he could have actually emerged when he contested again. And people like that, if you don't have the initiative, and that's why I used to tell my son in higher institution that if you cannot think of what you can do for the government cannot do everything for you. You must always use your initiative. How many youth of nowadays have one or two things to do? You must use your initiative, and a leader must use what he has to attain what he wants. But I don't think what the youth of nowadays are. I don't think it can move a country like Nigeria forward.
Prof, I think I totally disagree there. You see, when you talk about initiative, when you talk about creativity, the question is, in a country like Nigeria, presenter, whereby when you school here, you are there, they don't even teach you on how you can make money. Yeah. They only teach you about the theories of the kind of course of study that you are being offered in the university or polytechnic level. Now the question is, when you talk about creativity, the question is how many allocations has been given to this particular youth? When they read out the Nigerian budget, they won't even classify that this particular sector is meant for the youth. You know, the question is, when you want to judge based on experience, the question is, let us call out the participants. Who are those? Who are the aspirants that want to contest? We have Showore. You can see the problem this man gave to one of the senators on result matters and all those things. Now this shows that what if these people can be, going after these politicians and revealing their bad past through the press, that means that these people, they have something that they want to offer Nigeria. When my grandfather, a person that when you take a look at his age is old enough to be my own grandfather, is there as the president of Nigeria, then do you want me to call him Mr. President or Mr. Grandfather? What do you expect me to call him? So the question now is, don't let us look at creativity. Any youth that have graduated using 4 years, 5 years in the university, they don't. I myself, if I do not lecture, definitely I don't have any form of creativity. So what do you expect? That means my family, my children, we all will be paupers, and probably we are going to die as peasants. So definitely, I think when you talk about experience, when you talk about anything concerning leadership, the question is, how many allocation has been given to this particular youth? Give it to them, then you see what they are going to do.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Can you highlight some of the positive implications of this new law, sir?
We have them.
Okay, sir.
We have. When you take a look at the United States, taking a look at the former president, President Obama, when something happened, in America, during his time, you are going to see the president present there. Take a look at Nigeria. We have herdsmen in Plateau State. We have killings in the country. The question is, I haven't watched news and now you see the president there. Rather, the president is going to announce probably through the press, Femi Adesina, that we should keep on praying for Nigeria. These are not the type of people that we need. When you look at the positive, now insecurity, from Boko Haram to herdsmen. Before, in the past, we have people like Anini. So insecurity, these people, financial issues. These people are just financial scavengers. Why is it that so many governors are owing the civil servants a lot of money? They haven't paid. So the question now is, we need people that financially, they know how to lead this country from recession. Because very soon, they will shift our attention from recession to depression. So before depression, I think we need a youth that can actually lead us.
Let me come in from there. You made mention of our United States. United States is a developed country, and we must not mix two things together. You can't put the United States and Nigeria on the same scale. Because United States is a developed country. Nigeria is still underdeveloping. We are still developing, and you can't compare the United States to that of Nigeria. Look at. There are two parallel lines. We've not even we said we practice democracy. We can't even practice democracy to that fullest because we said we are practicing what they are practicing, and which is not true. So we are just developing. We've not gotten to the stage in which we can say, okay, the youth, it is time for you to run. The youth that cannot use his initiative to create something, when he gets into power, it will still be the whole set of people that will rule him. Because where does he want to get all the required resources that he wants or he needs? It will still run back to the hold, and it will be the hold that will be ruling indirectly.
You are trying to highlight cabals, political cabals.
That is the point, and that is one of the major problems of Nigeria.
You see, actually, when you compare the size of Chicago in America, it is equally to the size of Nigeria. The question is, we are talking about development. Who will lead us? Who will bear the cat? You are talking about an old man, old people leading us. I don't think, when you talk about, you are not even talking about democracy now. You are not talking about gerontocracy. That is where we are going now. That a system of the old people. Old people will be, that means if I reach the age of 70, 80, 90, 100, and even if God can help me 150, I can still contest and win election. That is it. Look at Podia in Cameroon. Even I saw people, AIDS, they were carrying him, trying to lift him to the stage for him to speak. The question is, when will we be safe? Not only in Nigeria. You see, actually, to me, or from my own opinion, I think this is the high time for youths to lead. Take a look at our history in the past. Youth have led us.
Dr.
So now,
Sulaiman.
I think it is
Dr.
my
Sulaiman.
time.
There's a Yoruba adage that says, "Tomode ba lasho bi agba, kò lè lákìsà bí àgbà." And that adage simply means experience. Look at a 30-year-old, youth. What does he want to offer a country like Nigeria? And you made mention of those people that have run this country in the past. And that I would say, in the past, are we in the past? Is it the Nigeria we have then that we have now? No,
Honestly,
things
Nigeria
have
is still
changed.
Nigeria.
Things have
USA is
changed.
still USA now.
During the time of those you mentioned, we can say, okay, during that time they are agitating for independence. And that is why we have people like that, people like Awolowo, people like Shoneka, and every other people that run Nigeria around 30, 35 years and 40.
Thank you
but not
very much.
the presentation of things now.
Thank you very much, our guest speakers. We'll take a short break now to listen to what our fellow Nigerian citizens has to say on this issue. We'll be right back.
There's this new bill that is on that not young to rule, not young to rule. Are you supporting the motion or you are opposing? And what's your own reason behind it?
Okay, I actually support the motion. Yes, the youth of Nigeria, the youth, we are not too young to rule. Yes, we keep hearing this adage that says the leaders of tomorrow. We keep saying it all the time, but still, how can we be leaders of tomorrow when we can't just mount the leadership role? So I believe they should give the youth the chance to rule.
Okay, what advice do you want to give the youth? Because some of them don't want to partake in politics.
Yes, actually, politics is a dirty game. So I encourage people. I give my support to people that want to go. If a youth goes there and want to become the president, I will definitely support. So it should just not think of the failures, because definitely the failures. It should just put on more effort. Your name again? Yes, my name is Uratu Simichi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm a presenter from Peak TV. Like, there's this new bill that is on ground. Not young to rule and not young to run. What's your own take? Are you going to support the motion or you are going to oppose it?
Me, I will support the motion because the bill has been passed.
Okay.
So it's easier for all youths to go into politics.
Okay.
So for us to go into politics, I support the motion.
That's all. What advice do you want to give the youth? Because I think some of them don't want to partake in politics because it's a dirty game. And so
We are all youths, and the advice I can give everybody is, or I can give the youth is, if they can, they should. If you have the opportunity to run for any post, just do so. If you have the capacity, the stamina to do, just do so.
okay. What's your name?
My name is Udikoluwa Television.
Thanks.
Welcome back. It's still your favorite program, Matters Arising, and we are still on this same issue, not too young to run. Now, Professor Olayemi, you've been able to highlight some of the reasons why you think a youth cannot lead a country like Nigeria. Can you explain in this kind of a situation whereby we have a citizen of Nigeria increasing his age just to be an aspirant in the political world?
Yeah, I think that kind of a person is very desperate. Impersonation, that's what they call it. I don't know why you have to be so hungry for power. You've not yet attained a particular age for the requirement for you to contest, and you have to increase your age. I think that's why we need to take the INEC body for that person to scale through. And this is the kind of Nigeria we find ourselves. Why would someone that is not yet to attain a political post because he's power hungry or because he wants to, I don't think that kind of person is a true leader. If you have to lie or you have to buy your way to have your way, I think that is not the right way.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Dr. Adedayo, you've been able to share with us some points and reasons why you think a youth can actually lead a country like Nigeria. So is it really certain that a youth can lead a country like Nigeria?
Yes, yes.
Like,
yes.
what's the possibility?
You see, if Nigeria can be classified as a country that is not developed or just developing or something like that, we have youths that, if you look at our past, they've done it. But if you look at other countries, even in terms of population that they are not up to Nigeria, if you take a look at Macron in France, take a look at Croatia, take a look at countries like that, even take a look at Zuckerberg and all those ones like that, that they are not even politicians, used working. Take a look at Nigeria during the military regime when we have Gowon. Gowon was just, how old? 28 years old. He led Nigeria. He was the head of state for up to 9 years. So that means that what? Youth can do this thing.
Doctor Sulaiman, let me come in from there. You made mention of Macron of France. What is the population of France? You can't compare the population of France to that of Nigeria. Nigeria is over 170 million. What is the population of France? What is the population of what's the name of this country? Croatia. Their president is just at 35 or 39 years old. And Croatia is just 4.9 million in population. And you can't compare a population of 4.9 million with a population of 170 million. And those countries you are mentioning, they have the resources. They have everything. They have the required resources to encourage their youths to go into politics. And that's why they used to say, if you are privileged, there's every possibility that you can make it. And that's why people can mention people like Mark Zuckerberg. He was very privileged. If Nigerian youth have that privilege they have over there, I think they can do something. But where is the privilege? When you create a platform for someone to work on, and the platform is shaky, when the foundation is bad, there's nothing that the structure will build on.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. But let me put this to you. Like, don't you think this new law is to favor the current politician, whereby they leave their children, they leave the affairs of this nation in the hands of their children?
We can't deny the fact, or we can't dispute the fact that Nigeria, our youth are not the leaders of tomorrow. But we just need to be conscious of one thing: if we want, or if we truly mean that Nigerian youth are the leaders of tomorrow, then there should be qualitative education, and Nigerian youth should be encouraged to start politics from the grassroots level. When they start from the grassroots level, from local governments, that would be a stepping stone for them to get to the governorship and the presidential post. But if you are saying, okay, you want them to just go straight to the presidential or governorship, I think that is not the right way. And if the politicians are planning, okay, they want their sons or their daughters to inherit that post, I think Nigerians are not blind. They know individual achievement. They know who can rule or who can serve them better. So if they think they can just hand over to their son or their daughter, Nigerians will pull them out after the first time.
Okay.
You can only deceive Nigerian ones. You can't deceive them forever.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Dr. Adedayo, do you agree with Professor's opinion?
I totally disagree. You see, when you talk about, Nigerian youth, sending their sons or daughters out, usually there is a quotation, and I will quote it, that the fathers, they've eaten the sour grape, and they will surely love to set the teeth of their kids or children on the edge or hedges. Now you see, the problem is we don't even want their generations again, because when you take a look at our country, in which we have embezzlement, different turbulence happenings, and there is those gross carpeting and everything. Now when you take a look at these things, you see, we don't want their generation, we don't want their fathers again, we don't want them to put wọ́n ní ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ kú ó fọmọ ẹ̀ràn pò ọmọ tó fi rọ́pò ta ni ó jọ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ náà ni. So we need new set of people.
We must also take conscious of some presidents, some old those people that hold in age that run countries in Africa, and they've done well. Look at the president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe. He did very well.
But why was he pursued out by the military? Why did that youth were clamoring against him? What happened?
But he has served them up to a point that they know, no, you've done well, you should go and rest. And that is why it is not possible to run a country over 30-something years. It is not easy. Look at the people like Gaddafi. They did something well, and that is why they've been able to run or to rule their country for so many years.
But
Which cannot happen in Nigeria.
What do you think is happening to Nigeria with the current situation that we have now? Why is it that things are not working here? And you are quoting Zimbabwe, you are quoting people like Zuma, people that, what is the essence of you leading a country and at the end of it, they disgrace you? There is nothing like a kind of good welcome service, good backup to tell you that, thank you, Mr. Man, you have tried. What do you think is happening?
I think one of the problems we can see Nigeria is facing is a lack of proper recording in population. Because there is always speculation, because the population of Nigeria is not well documented. And that is why the resources we have cannot cater for every Nigerian. And that is why I want to call on all Nigerian youths. They should think of what they can do, what they can offer this country. They should not think of what this country can offer them. To have a better Nigeria, we must have youths that use their initiative. My son is in university, and he uses initiative to repair computers. And I have a friend of mine that his daughter is in University of Ibadan. She makes shoes for his classmates and other people.
Okay,
that is what is expected of Nigerian. You don't think of what, just like your father. Your father cannot always do everything for you. You must think of how you can help yourself.
Thank you
And
very
that is
much.
how you can know a rich and a poor person.
Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. We'll go on this short break. We'll be right back.
Food no dey, brother, water no dey. And our country no good oh. Every day for tip on day for whole night. One man wait if my drummer them go show him face for crime fighter. Rich man wait if money omo we now they see their face for crime fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go dey yalla pe ah. One man go dey sound. Rich man go dey yalla pe ah. One man go dey sound. They gonna lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President,
Lead us well,
if you be governor,
govern us well.
if you be senator,
Anytime well,
if you be police,
police well, now they take bribe. Lead us well,
name
govern us well.
if you be senator,
Anytime well,
if you be police,
police well, now they take bribe.
well you know dey, brother transportation no dey, and our road e no good oh. Want a body nepa people oh, we no get light. Everybody just dey holla, when no dey na how we want survive. Many youth ready for work, but as work no dey na how we want survive. Yeah, we be giant of Africa, but to get visa enter Ghana na wire. My God, policeman go see white, he go tell you say I say that thing na red. Tell me something I do to make una lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President,
Lead us well,
if you be governor,
govern us well.
if you be senator,
Anytime well, police well, now they take bribe. Lead us well, govern us well.
Welcome back. It's still your favorite program, Matters Horizon. And of course, you are still on this same issue, not too young to run. Now, Professor Olayemisa, what advice do you have for fellow Nigerian youths watching this program?
Yeah, there is no doubt that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But my advice for them is that before you can say you are qualified to contest for any political post, make sure you are sound and you are well grounded. Make sure you have a good education, and that is when you can run or rule a country like Nigeria effectively. So my advice is that always make sure you set your priorities right. When you set your priorities right, I believe you can make it to the top. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your contributions. Dr. Adidaya, what advice do you have for Nigerian youths watching this program?
You see, my advice is just that the youth, they are no more saying that youth are the leaders of tomorrow is just a fallacy. You know, it's just a kind of pride. We youths should be the leaders of today. They are the leaders of today. Because if they fail to take up this mantle, what is going to happen is that they will be used as political talks with these old people. So the best thing is they should try as much as possible, convince the populace, convince the electorate, convince the citizens that this is the high time for them to lead the country.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. I hope you've learned one or two things from today's discussion. Not too young to learn. A very special thank you to our guest speakers for honoring us. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Now to my wonderful audience out there, do well to join me same time, same station next week for another interesting edition on Matters Arising. Thank you.